Hi, I'm Olivia, Project Support for the Sustainability Team and a registered nurse by background. And this is Sustainable Voices at UCLH. Here we'll talk to our staff about what sustainability means to them and what inspires them to make sustainable changes for our patients now and in the future. So let's get started.
I'm Heather Forshaw and I'm the Senior Procurement Business Partner for the Surgery and Cancer Board at UCLH.
Lovely to have you here. Do you want to start by telling us a little bit about your career background?
Yes, so I joined UCLH after I graduated from uni. I started on a graduate scheme for procurement across the NHS. So I was on that scheme for 2 years. I worked mostly in the corporate procurement board at UCLH, moved into surgery and cancer 2 years ago now, and I was an assistant business partner at the start and have just moved into the senior business partner role.
And what inspired you to think about sustainability in your role?
I think sustainability has always been quite important to me. In general, I just think it's the right thing to do, and it's an important thing that everyone needs to prioritise, really. But at UCLH in particular, obviously we have a very active sustainability team and there's a lot to get involved with. There's a lot of opportunities. So that has sort of always kept it at the forefront of my mind. And also from a procurement perspective, I'd say there's more and more considerations that we have to take regarding sustainability. So like looking at whether or not suppliers have completed the Evergreen Sustainable Assessment. In certain tenders, we have to include a 10% weighting to social value or sustainability. So it's becoming more and more important overall.
Yeah, definitely in the procurement sector, there's more of a legal requirement that's in place to ensure that we're moving towards sustainable change. So why do you think sustainability is important for UCLH and our patients?
I think sustainability is important for everyone. Obviously, it's important that we can continue to provide the same level of care and the same services that we currently do. And to do that, we need to think of the future and make sure that we are future-proofing these things. From a procurement perspective, I know we see a lot now of there's raw material shortages, there's a lot of supply issues that come from that sort of area. So looking at, how we can avoid that and how we can recycle and not waste is really important for us.
Really valuable points there. I totally agree. What do you see as the future for sustainability at UCLH and how do you envision your role evolving with that?
I think, like I said, it's only going to become more and more important and more relevant. From a procurement perspective, obviously at the moment, if we're going out to market and we're looking at a new service or a new product, the two sort of key considerations we'd look at is the price and the quality, and how we weight that might differ from product to product, but they're the two things we look at. But I think more and more sustainability will be a third element of that. Like, where is the product coming from? How is it being sourced? How far is it traveling? Can it be recycled or is it single use? And those sort of things, I think, in general are going to become more and more relevant.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And with that change, how do you see that you have to expand your skill sets to meet that change?
We're going to have a lot more knowledge on assessing what suppliers say and actually validating that, and get a lot more, obviously, we have the sustainability team there that we can reach out to in certain situations. But in general, it's going to become like BAU for us. We have to have that awareness and educate ourselves more on sustainable suppliers, how we can avoid greenwashing, things like that.
Yeah, so true. So in your mind, what's some simple and easy changes you would recommend for staff to help us be a more sustainable organisation?
I think there's a lot of things. We, in general, a lot of people will think that to be more sustainable, it involves huge switches, but there's a lot of simple day-to-day things that we can do. I've been involved in some projects in my area where we've switched from a single-use item to a reusable item, or to a remanufactured item, for example. And it might seem like quite a small thing, but that's reducing our waste by quite a large amount, which is huge when you look at it on the big scale of things. All of the little things add up. And even just within the trust, making sure that we are recycling, making sure that we're not using excessive amounts that we don't need to. There's a lot we can do.
And what opportunities are there at UCLH for staff to get more involved in sustainability?
There's a lot. I think, like I mentioned before, the sustainability team are really active and there's always opportunities to get involved. I know we have sustainability leads across the trust, and staff could join the Sustainability Network, for example. I also saw this week that there was a climate awareness e-module that's been launched, which I think is really important for everyone to sort of educate themselves and take that time so that in the future they can act in a more sustainable way.
Thank you so much for coming along and speaking to us. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.